Le Gardien de tempêtes is not my first novel. It is my first middle grade novel, or novel for children, however, and it is the first novel that I've written that's been translated into French. In Ireland we have a huge tradition of creativity and reading and writing, and so growing up I was really inspired not just by local authors but by mythology and legends based in the Celtic tradition, and so that really helped me when it came to writing my own book and putting in, I suppose, mystery and magic and the kind of fantasy that feels very real. The island of Aranmore is a real island. It's just off the northwest coast of Ireland, and it's very small. There's only about 400 people who live there, and it's the island where my grandparents were born, where they grew up and where they fell in love. So growing up I heard all about it all the time. It was very dear and special to their heart, but it wasn't until 3 years ago when I went back and I got to see the island properly through my own eyes and experience the beautiful nature and also the sort of sense of magic and mystery in the island as well, and so that became the setting for the book. I think growing up in Ireland, you're always surrounded by the weather. You can never really get away from it. It's always quite windy and stormy and rainy. With this book, I really wanted to bring nature back to the forefront and show the kind of power and natural magic that can be found in nature that I think a lot of the times we, including myself, forget about when we're looking at our phones or we're inside all the time. So it's a huge inspiration for me, and it's really important in the book as well. So the book is hugely inspired by my real family. Not only is the island of Aranmore the island of my ancestors, but also the grandfather character in the book, Magie, is inspired by my grandfather, who was a sea captain for 60 years, and he comes from a long line of brave seafarers and lifeboat rescuers. So a lot of the adventures and the real life rescues that I know about from my own family history. So since the book is published, I've been lucky enough to meet a lot of children in a lot of different places, several states in America, in Dubai, in Sharjah, Italy, Belgium, Ireland, England, Wales. I'm sure it's Australia soon. So I've got to meet a lot of children and a lot of child readers, and the one thing that's similar is they're all incredibly enthusiastic and imaginative, which is lovely. And then as you go from country to country, some children are more interested in the magic, some are more interested in the nature, some are really fascinated by the sea. And so I think what's really special about France and being in Paris, especially at this book fair, is getting to meet children who are so interested in the tradition of not just reading, but reading aloud, and also creating and being imaginative. For example, in, say, somewhere like England, the children are very interested in the idea of memories being stored in candles and being accessed by burning the candles. And that would be the same in Ireland. But in somewhere like New Mexico in the United States, or in Sharjah in the United Arab Emirates, the children there have never been close to the sea and don't know what it's like to live near the sea because they're surrounded by desert. And so when I've been to these places, they're very interested in what the sea smells like, what it looks like, is it cold, what it's like to put your feet in the sea. So that for them becomes a bigger source of magic than perhaps, you know, the magic of the candles. It's really interesting going from culture to culture and learning what excites people the most.